The Middle East is preparing for an attack on Israel by Iran and its proxies. The U.S. is desperately pursuing diplomatic efforts to restrain war. It's also building a coalition to defend Israel.
An attack by Iranian-backed militia on a U.S. airbase in Iraq is increasing tensions. At the same time, Tehran is strengthening its relationship with Russia. Chris Mitchell has the latest from Jerusalem.
In Tel Aviv, Centcom Commander General Michael Kurilla met with Israeli Defense Minister Yoav Gallant. His mission? To oversee a coalition to defend Israel from an expected attack by Iran and its proxies. Meanwhile, in Tehran, the Secretary of Russia's Security Council met with Iran's president, who described Russia as a key and strategic ally, and said improving relations with Russia is among Iran's top foreign policy priorities. Iran's foreign minister also blamed the U.S. for supporting Israel's war against Hamas.
Moreover, the U.S. should not provide Israel with arms or weapons of mass destruction. We believe that had it not been for the U.S. government's assistance, Israel would never have taken such a risk.
On Monday, several American servicemen were wounded when Iranian-backed militias attacked the U.S. al-Assad air base in Iraq. The U.S. State Department is urging Iran to de-escalate.
We have been sending consistent messages through our diplomatic engagements, encouraging people to communicate to the government of Iran that escalation is not in their interest, and that we will defend Israel from attacks, and that escalation does not serve Iran's interest.
Most of Israel right now is anxiously awaiting whether or not there will be an attack, what it will be like, and whether the IDF has the capacity to defend it.
Alex Trayman, Jerusalem bureau chief of JNS.org, believes the U.S. is sending the wrong signal to Iran.
It seems clear that the United States wants to help Israel to defend itself. It doesn't want Israel to absorb large attacks on its home front. But at the same time, they are willing to let Israel fight but not win the war. And it's giving Iran the sense that they maybe don't have a green light, but they at least have a yellow light to go ahead and attack Israel.
Trayman believes the U.S. needs to send a different message.
What they should be saying is, you will not attack, because if you attack, we will consider it like an attack on the United States, and we will punish you severely. Right now, there is not a very credible military threat, so there is no deterrence against Iran.
In light of the peril Israel is facing now, 300 Christians from Indonesia came to pray in Jerusalem's Garden Tomb. They came to intercede for protection for the Jewish state and its people. Chris Mitchell, CBN News, Jerusalem.
Well, I hope our foreign policy establishment wakes up to the danger here. And it's not just what they're doing right now. There are decades of this where they're trying to have some kind of policy of containment. And it goes back, again, decades. But particularly in the Obama administration, where they released so much money, and they said, we're going to try diplomacy, and we're going to see if we can stop Iran from getting a nuclear weapon. In this administration, the Secretary of State said they're weeks away from getting enough fissionable material to create a nuclear weapon. And so all of this policy of containment is not working. Now, when it's a desperate situation, when they have vowed we're going to attack Israel, and we're going to do it in force, and we're mobilizing everything we have, we're going to be specific to do it on the 9th of Av. All of these things are in place. Now is the time to say containment's off the table. If you attack Israel, get ready, because we're going to defend her, and we're going to defend her in force. You can't be on both sides on this, and this isn't a time to get wobbly. This is the time to send a very clear message that we stand with Israel. But we're not seeing that out of Washington right now. The vice president is famous for essentially lecturing Netanyahu that, this isn't a binary situation. It absolutely is a binary situation. You have terrorist attacks against Israel. October 7th is not a binary. Either you are for Israel in that or you're for Hamas. There's no middle ground. When Hezbollah launches rockets into northern Israel, there's no middle ground there either. Are you seriously saying that it's okay to fire a rocket into a soccer pitch and kill so many children? Is that okay? Does Israel not have a right to defend itself? Does Israel not have a right to go after all the architects who created this terror network, who launched October 7th and are vowing to repeat it again and again and again? Now, let's be clear. Let's be absolutely clear on the world stage. We stand with Israel. And if you attack Israel, get ready, because we're not going to contain that. We're going to go right after you. If we have that kind of clear message, well, then everyone in the Middle East will respect it because of the strength behind it. But you can't, like Obama, say, we're drawing a line in the sand. If you cross this line, get ready. And the line got crossed and nothing happened. We can't have that kind of foreign policy. We either stand behind our allies, stand with them in their time of need, or we need to get off the table here. This isn't a time for wobbling. This is a time to be absolutely strong and very clear in communication.